Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're about to peel back the layers on a segment of the global economy that, well, it might seem incredibly specific at first glance,
hmm
but trust me, it's a quiet powerhouse. We're seeing some fascinating global trends and honestly some surprising growth.
It really is. We're going to uncover a corner of the industrial world that's, you could say, literally heating up.
Exactly. So our focus today is the plasma spraying equipments market.
Right.
Now, for those maybe less familiar, plasma spraying is a really critical industrial process. You have this specialized equipment projecting a superheated plasma flame
Yeah, like incredibly hot.
to apply these advanced protective coatings. Think about things like jet engine components, making them last longer.
Or medical implants, making them biocompatible.
Right, or improving wear resistance on car parts, even thermal insulation in power generation.
It's all about making surfaces tougher, more durable, better performing in pretty extreme conditions.
Precisely. And all the insights we're sharing today, they come from a really detailed analysis. It's the Plasma Spraying Equipment's Market Outlook, 2021-2033 Growth Forecast, which is powered by Cognitive Market Research.
Yeah, a great source. And our mission here, really, is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from that report, give you a sharp, concise understanding of this market's global and regional dynamics. We're looking from 2021 all the way through the projected growth to 2033.
So you walk away well-informed, but, without drowning in data.
Exactly.
Okay, so to give everyone a sense of the scale right off the bat, let's hit those global numbers.
Let's do it.
This market generated a pretty substantial $1,263.69 million globally back in 2021.
Okay.
By 2025, it's set to reach $1,704 million. But here's where the growth really becomes clear. It's projected to hit an impressive $3,098.35 million by 2033.
Wow, so more than doubling from 2021.
Yeah, and that translates to a robust global compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 7.76%.
7.76% globally. That's pretty compelling.
Yeah.
But I think what's really interesting here is that while these global figures show a thriving market,
Right.
the real story, the kind of aha moments, they really emerge when we dig into the specific regions and countries.
That's where the nuance is.
That's where we see the diverse forces, contributing to and really accelerating this growth.
Okay, perfect. Let's unpack this then, region by region, starting with North America.
Sounds good. So North America. In 2021, the market there was already quite significant, 504.211 million.
Okay.
It's projected to nearly double, hitting 11,161.88 million by 2033. And that's maintaining a solid 7.233% CAGR.
Still very strong growth.
Yeah.
So what's driving that, especially in, say, the key countries there?
Well, within North America, the United States is, as you might expect, the largest market. It grew from $344.376 million in 2021, projected to reach $757.546 million by 2033. That's a 6.809% CAGR. And this sustained growth, it's largely propelled by its established aerospace, defense, and energy sectors. They're just consistent, high-volume users of these plasma-applied coatings.
Right, those big industrial bases. What about Canada?
Canada also shows strong expansion. It goes from $117.481 million up to a projected $286.985 million by 2033. It's actually slightly higher CAGR, 7.732%,
Interesting.
which possibly reflects, increased investment in its own industrial and maybe resource-based manufacturing.
Okay. And you flagged something earlier, Mexico. That one really jumps out in North America.
It really does. Mexico's market, while it started smaller at $42.354 million in 2021, it's projected to surge to $117.35 million by 2033. And get this, an impressive 8.942% CAGR.
Wow, 8.942%. That's the highest in North America, right? What could be fueling that kind of acceleration down there?
Yeah, highest in the region. It's a great question. I think Mexico's robust growth, it could be a combination of things. Increasing foreign direct investment in manufacturing is a big one, particularly automotive electronics industries that often rely on plasma spraying for, component durability.
And maybe nearshoring trends?
Exactly. Nearshoring, bringing production closer to the big North American markets, that could also be a really significant contributor. A confluence of factors, really.
That insight into Mexico's dynamism, it really highlights how these specific regional economic shifts are playing out. So let's shift focus. What story do the numbers tell us across the Atlantic in Europe?
Okay, Europe. The market there was $248.946 million in 2021. It's anticipated to expand to $576.293 million in 2033.
Okay.
That comes out to a 7.264% CAGR. Pretty similar overall growth rate to North America, actually.
Interesting consistency. And within Europe, major players.
Yeah, we see significant contributions from economies like the UK. Those $51.532 million in 2021 with a 6.794% CAGR.
Okay.
And Germany, $42.819 million, 6.78% CAGR, both driven by, their strong engineering and industrial bases.
Makes sense. Any surprises there?
Well, Spain is showing particularly strong growth, an 8.614% CAGR. Yeah, nearly tripling from about $22.6 million in 2021 to over $60 million projected by 2033.
That's quite a jump for Spain.
It is. And other notables, Russia's at 7.791% CAGR. Denmark's quite strong at 8.114%. So pockets of faster growth.
Okay, interesting how some individual countries are pulling ahead like that. But you mentioned something intriguing about the rest of Europe category.
Yes. This is really fascinating. That rest of Europe category, which basically lumps together many of the smaller European economies,
Right.
it actually shows the highest regional growth across all of Europe, an impressive 10.113% CAGR
10%.
for the rest of Europe.
Yeah. It suggests that growth isn't just concentrated in the big guys, the major industrialized nations. There seems to be this diffuse but powerful expansion happening across various smaller, maybe more specialized European markets.
So maybe adoption in new applications or niche industries spreading out?
That's what it could indicate.
Yeah.
And just as a contrast, Luxembourg showed the lowest European CAGR at 4.847%. So it really highlights the diverse paces of adoption across the continent. That's a superb insight. Sometimes those aggregate restive categories, they really do hide some dynamism.
Okay, speaking of impressive momentum, let's turn to Asia Pacific. You said this region is the overall leader in growth.
Indeed. Asia Pacific is demonstrating the highest regional KGR globally. It's expanding from $353.832 million in 2021 to a forecasted $960.488 million by 2033. That's a remarkable 8.662% CAGR. This region is truly setting the pace for the whole market.
Nearly $1 billion by 2033. Huge. And within that, I assume China is a dominant force.
Yes, absolutely. China leads the region. It shows significant growth, going from $129.503 million in 2021 to $384.195 million in 2033.
Okay.
That's a robust 9.397% CAGR. It just reflects its vast and, frankly, rapidly expanding manufacturing base, which is increasingly adopting these kinds of advanced industrial processes.
Makes sense. What about other key markets there? Japan, South Korea?
Yep, Japan is also a key market, though maybe with a slightly more moderate growth rate, 7.007% CAGR.
Still solid. Very solid. And South Korea is performing well, too. 8.443% CAGR, likely driven by its strong electronics and automotive industries.
Right, but there's one country in Asia Pacific that seems truly stand out in the numbers. What is happening in India?
India. It is absolutely surging in this market. It started at $39.275 million in 2021.
Relatively small start compared to China.
Relatively, yes. But it's projected to reach a remarkable $128.705 million by 2033.
Okay.
And this boasts an incredible 10.403% CAGR.
Wow, over 10%.
Over 10%. That makes it the highest country CAGR mentioned in the entire source material.
That's incredible. What's behind that explosive growth?
It's just a clear indicator of rapid industrialization and modernization happening there, particularly in sectors like automotive, infrastructure development, maybe even medical device manufacturing.
Right.
All of which increasingly rely on these advanced coding technologies. It's a dramatic ramp up.
Truly remarkable acceleration. Okay, so we've seen really strong growth in Asia Pacific led by India and China. How does South America compare?
Okay, shifting south. The South American market for plasma spraying equipment. It was $75.821 million in 2021. And it's projected to more than double, reaching $192.098 million in 2033. That gives it a healthy 7.979% CAGR.
So strong growth there too, maybe slightly above the global average. Brazil's the big player there, I imagine.
Brazil contributes significantly, yes. Sales of $35.105 million back in 2021 and growing at a 7.773% CAGR, likely driven by its large industrial and agricultural sectors too.
Definitely. Are there any specific growth hotspots in South America that really stand out in the data?
Exactly. Colombia is showing particularly robust growth, a 9.468% CAGR.
Another one over 9%.
Exactly. It jumps from just under $7 million, 6.824 meters in 2021, to over $20 million projected by 2033.
What might be driving that in Colombia?
Could be fueled by increasing investment in infrastructure development, maybe diversified manufacturing efforts gaining traction. Kourou also shows strong expansion, 9.065% CAGR.
Okay.
So it suggests a broader industrial uptick happening across parts of the region, beyond just Brazil.
Interesting. Okay, moving on. The Middle East. How do the numbers look there for plasma spraying equipment?
In the Middle East, revenues were $48.02 million in 2021, growing to $127.032 million in 2033.
And the CAGR.
That's an 8.436% CAGR. So again, pretty strong growth, faster than the global average.
Right. Any leaders within the region?
Saudi Arabia is leading the region's growth, actually, a 9.089% CAGR.
Another 9% plus.
Yep. From about $19 million, 18.968 meters in 2021, to over $54 million projected by 2033.
What's the likely driver there? Diversification efforts.
Very likely. Those large-scale national development projects, diversification away from oil, big investments in advanced manufacturing and infrastructure, it all fits.
Makes sense. UAE and Turkey.
Also growing well. UAE at 8.518% CAGR and Turkey at 8.166%. So broad strength across key Middle Eastern economies.
Good to see. And finally, let's look at Africa. How's the market shaping up there?
Okay, Africa. The market recorded $32.856 million in 2021. It's projected to grow to $80.557 million by 2033.
And the growth rate?
That represents a 7.253% CAGR. So closely tracking the North American and European average growth rate.
Okay. Any country specifics?
Nigeria shows solid growth, 7.717% CAGR. South Africa represents a larger slice of the market share in the region, starting at $11.927 million back in 2021.
Reflecting its more established industrial base, I suppose.
Exactly. The growth across the continent, though, it suggests, emerging industrialization and the adoption of more advanced manufacturing techniques starting to take hold more broadly.
Okay. So if we try and connect all these dots now,
Yeah.
looking at the big picture here, I'm consistently struck by this broad-based growth, yet it's often regionally specific, isn't it, across such diverse parts of the world? It's not just one or two hotspots. It really seems like a widespread industrial trend.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the sort of bigger picture, what's really compelling is how these numbers paint this consistent story of global industrial advancement.
Right.
While growth is steady worldwide, like you said, we've identified these specific accelerators. Think about India's phenomenal 10.403% CAGR.
It's incredible.
The rest of Europe showing up at 10.113%, Colombia at 9.468%, China strong at 9.397%, Saudi Arabia at 9.089%, Mexico at 8.942%.
Quite a list of high flyers.
It is. And these figures, they aren't just numbers on a page, are they? They really indicate a widespread and probably evolving demand for this plasma spraying equipment. It points to these underlying industrial advancements, manufacturing shifts, like we mentioned, nearshoring, and significant infrastructure development happening in these specific geographies. It shows how this specialized tech is becoming more and more critical across really diverse global economies.
So just to recap them, what we've uncovered in this deep dive is, well, a clear and pretty significant upward trajectory for the plasma spraying equipment's market.
Definitely clear.
It's projected to more than double globally between 2021 and 2033, and it's driven not just by general expansion, but by strong and often accelerating growth in various regions, Asia-Pacific, South America, the Middle East.
Right, alongside that consistent, robust expansion we see in North America and Europe.
Exactly. And we've seen how specific countries, often fueled by their own unique industrial drivers, are becoming these real growth engines in what might seem like a niche sector.
And hopefully this deep dive has provided you, the listener, with a clear, concise understanding of this specific, but rapidly growing global market. Because understanding these seemingly niche industrial markets, it really does contribute significantly to a broader comprehension of global economic trends, industrial development, technological adoption. It's all interconnected, really. So as you reflect on these numbers and these underlying industrial trends we've discussed, maybe consider this. What further breakthroughs, perhaps in material science or maybe even in automation and AI, how might they intersect with plasma spraying technology in the coming decade?
Ooh, interesting thought.
And how could those advancements not only propel this market even further, but maybe shape entirely new applications in industries that, well, we can only really begin to imagine today?